Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins.
The crafty goblins did everything together, until one day, when darkness overwhelmed the big wooden house in which they lived.
Blamed for the darkness, Brother Goblin was forced to leave the forest, while his sister had to stay behind.
Years later, they were finally reunited, and together, they decided to confront the darkness in the big wooden house.
Though they sought the help of their friends in the forest, they found that no one wanted to delve into the long-gone past.
This is how the goblins found themselves alone in the woods, trying to discover why darkness had submerged the big wooden house.
Tomorrow we should play Compass and North Star in the woods.
Be sure to wear your hat then.
You be sure to wear your hat.
All right, who wants ice cream?
Me!
Eat up. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground beneath the sapling. And as the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly gone, and with it, the final link to her old self. She could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara and a beautiful gown, but a wan woman, alone in a deep and ancient wood. And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure, and her title.
I don't like that story. There were no goblins, and it was depressing.
We won't read it again.
I love you, Mom.
Not me. Just kidding. Love you, Mom.
Mwah. I love you too. Sleep well and dream, my doves.
Ollie? Ollie? What a waste.
Alyson! Ollie! Alyson, help! We need to call for help.
Hey. You doing all right?
I thought coming here would be closing a chapter of our lives, you know?
And instead, we've spun off a whole miserable prequel trilogy. Okay. No. We're not letting ourselves do this again. Come on, up. Mind-numbing labor's a great way to forget your troubles.
Can't we just have coffee instead?
No. On your feet, soldier. Let's take a break from packing and sort out the furniture. If we get enough done, I'll drive you into town and buy you a gallon of ice cream.
Mint chocolate chip, 2 gallons. Let's do this. Goblin face is keep, $sign is donate or sell, and trash can is, well, trash. By the way, I cleared out most of the stuff from the bathroom this morning, but I left you the toilet.
How very generous of you.
All right, well, we are back again for an episode, or I guess chapter 2. Definitely looks like they've been doing some work. Got some boxes packed up.
Hello, ancient broken-down machines that will be the future owner's problem.
That's right. Anything in here at all? No? We put the trash. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Everywhere I look, there's just stuff, and more stuff.
Mary and the Magpie.
They're nice pictures.
We don't really want to keep anything in here, right?
Yes. I would, but you know. You said you left me the toilet, right? Was he serious about that?
What about that dresser?
If you want your towels to rot, go for it.
Oh.
Fair enough. Junkyard.
I mean, somebody would probably clean it up, but
Thanks for clearing out those cabinets.
Not my pleasure.
Say ah. Ah.
I remember cutting off shaving cream beards with these.
Oh, yeah. Oh, ew, ew, ew. Rav and Sarah.
Oh, God. I can still taste it. Put it away. Ugh.
what is that? I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Nope. Okay, nothing else in here? Good. Let's go. What else we got, Tyler? Anything in the kitchen? Oh my god, a dump cake? Is that what that says? What did a crushed pineapple? Yeah, that's basically a, I think that's a dump cake. The flour, baking powder, butter. Nice. Salmon chowder. I've never been one really for salmon, like any sort of chowder really. It's just not my thing.
Ancient appliances, you are staying here. Although, that oven looks in okay enough shape.
No way. We are not moving the oven.
But yeah, they're a pain in the butt. What am I doing here? Play sticky note? Yes. Are we gonna do the trash?
You're doing a great job.
What do we...
Thanks.
Oh, I got an achievement for that. Wait, what? Oh, the goblin. Now, if it was my sibling, I would have put the trash. Just because. You know how it be. Siblings. Okay. What else we got? Table?
Crummy table and wobbly chairs.
Can we sell it? Surely.
We could make some pretty good money if we sell this. And I know I'd end up eating on the couch most of the time anyway.
Listen, people will literally buy anything.
What's that smell?
Ooh, what's that smell?
Oh. Okay, where is this at here? Oh, over here.
Ooh, what's that smell?
Smells like delicious garbage.
Ooh, yes, delicious indeed.
Or could it be Stinky Pants Sam?
Oh, Stinky Pants Sam!
Come on now. Sam got that smell getting a skunk out of our barn. Be nice.
A skunk? What did you do to her? Is she okay?
Sure is. She just went hunting for food and couldn't get back out. All she needed was a little nudge to get her on her way.
Sam Kansky, hero of skunk kind.
I remember being super impressed by him, and it made me want to be a wild animal superhero too.
And look at you now. You are into the animals. Oh, the post-it note fell off. Tyler, come get your post-it.
Alyson, I asked you to clean up the coffee table 3 times already.
Oops, I forgot.
It'll be next on the list.
You hungry?
What is that? Hot
have-
sauce?
A whole lot of nothing.
Ketchup?
I was hoping maybe you could make me one of those pickle and ketchup sandwiches.
I think it is ketchup.
I'm sorry, sir. We are all out of pickles today. Could I interest you in a ketchup-only sandwich? Looks like there's still a bottle back here.
Ew.
Says the guy who used to eat peanut butter with ranch.
So good.
I don't know about that one there. Do we even have any bread? It's probably just some ketchup. It's a ketchup sandwich minus the bread.
Ooh, I could turn this thing into a terrarium. Hey, remember Volcano?
I looked at that last time. Who's Volcano? Oh?
Lasagna! Lasagna!
Finish your salad first. Thank you, Tessa. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, don't worry about it. They're just leftovers from the restaurant.
What about Volcano? She needs to eat her lunch too.
Oh, you're quite right, love.
Ugh, she can have my corn.
Here you go, little one. You must be hungry too.
Tessa really did keep us all fed.
She always tried to take care of everyone. Still does, I guess.
Okay, but I need to know who Volcano is. Was it a lizard? Was it a snake? Snakes don't eat corn. What was it?
What to do with this?
You could sell that. I don't see why not. That's very... It's a
Maybe
big
someone
square
would be
table.
willing to refinish it.
Oh, look, it's got little tree cutouts. Dude, I would buy that and refinish, I was about to say refurbish, but it's refinish it. Pop a good coat of polyurethane on that bad boy. Gremlins?
What's this doing down here?
Gremlins. Goblins were here. What is
Is
that?
that gum?
Ew.
Ugh. I guess that was probably me.
But we got... Oh, it's the frog. Ew. I think it's a collectible. That's our first one.
The big frog is an effervescent creature who tries to be kind, but is also a tireless gossip. The Ice King punished her once by telling her his deepest secret. If she ever tells anyone, she'll lose her voice forever.
Yeah, I feel like we probably need to continue reading the stories. So we only got to the party one last time, so we definitely need to continue on and at least read some. Because I feel like it's kind of telling us stories that that I haven't read yet. So probably need to do that. I'll do that here in just a few.
I guess it's finally time to take these pictures down.
Yeah. Still deciding what to do with them.
Ooh, I don't know what to put. Cause that wasn't happy for him. They might be happy for her, but I'm gonna Oh my god, I literally do not know what to put here.
I don't want them.
I don't think I do either.
You look cute here.
That's not me. I mean, it is, but...
But not really. I get it.
It's just weird. Seeing myself like that again. Damn. Didn't think a picture could throw me like this anymore.
I'm sorry. That sounds really rough.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like 1,000 times better. But I've got a ways to go before I'm comfortable taking my shirt off. Which is why I'm scheduling my top surgery as soon as we sell this house. No more putting a binder on every morning. God, that sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, totally. Just so you know, I'll be there to help out when you do. Whatever you need.
Thanks.
All right. What's your verdict, Ronan?
You know what? I'll keep a few. To remind us how far we've come.
I think that's a wonderful choice, and I think I made the right choice too. Oh, I don't know what type of fish that is, but nice. Can't tell. Is that... Who's that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be Sam? It doesn't look like him. I don't know.
Oh man, I love this one.
Why do I look so pissed? I remember loving this.
Maybe because Marianne was sticking a camera in your face?
Come on, smile like Alyson.
Okay. Oh, we got a memory. I can't look at the other photos? Okay. Okay. What am I remembering? Over here?
like Alyson.
Hold up your fish.
It's not my fish anymore. Alyson stole it.
Alyson?
My sister, the fish thief.
You were just being bratty.
Was I, though?
Yes. All I did was help clean it when we were out on the porch. Eddie had to force you to share.
Ah, it was Eddie. Okay. Alright, that makes sense.
Ugh. Gross stain is gross.
What happened?
Some unfortunate spillage that brought about the end of indoor tea parties. I hid the stain with my toys, forgetting that they would eventually be picked up.
Brilliant move, Ronan.
I was so afraid that Marianne would ground me for the rest of my life.
But she didn't, right?
No. I remember her saying that sufficiently adventurous play ensures that accidents will happen, and that it wasn't a big deal. But still, no more tea parties inside.
Hey, you can do tea parties inside, but do them on the hardwood floor. Much easier to clean up. Also, I really like all the dust.
Well, you gonna clean off the coffee table?
Yes.
Fine, clean freak.
It's gonna leave a stain on the wood.
What is? The potato chips? Okay. Okay. I'm getting there. Looks like there's another memory, but, well, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead.
Steady now. Take your time. He's not gonna jump up and do the cha-cha.
What about me? I want to clean the fish too.
It's not even your fish. You didn't catch anything.
Ugh, only because you wouldn't stop talking and scared all the fish away.
Keep your eyes on what you're doing. Alyson, when we're done with this half, you can take over and do the other one. That sound fair?
Yes.
You're right. I was kind of being a brat.
Were you though? I don't know. I'm kind of one of these that's like, you know, I suppose that's nice, sibling whatever if they let you clean their fish, but like if it's their fish, then they should be able to clean it. Sorry.
All right, I'll clean it up.
Thanks. While you do that, I'll check out the furniture.
All right.
I'm guessing you want to keep the coffee table?
It's actually kind of cute.
If there's anything you want, speak now.
I'm not really planning on bringing furniture to Denali. And if I need a base in Juneau, you'll have all the furniture I need.
How very non-committal of you. All right, I'll keep it.
I kind of like it. What is this?
I really like that armchair.
No. Or your forest shack.
On second thought, never
Sorry, Tyler. I didn't mean to not say anything.
Maybe it'll be salvageable with a deep clean?
Dude, I had one of these. I completely forgot that these things
Are
existed.
you gonna keep doing that? And finally.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but the couches get a one-way ticket to the dump.
No protest here. I think I have permanent knee damage from a decade of bumping into the corner of those damn things.
Well, then that's it for the living room. You are relieved from your duties.
One more time for good measure.
Guess you are.
Come on, I love it. Tyler.
Having fun, are we?
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. What else we got? It's just that thing. That's it. Can I not take it?
Ground control to Major Allison?
Yeah.
Alright, I guess that is pretty funny.
I mean, it sound like it's like saying, yeah. Oh my god, I love it. I just can't. I cannot. I had one of those and I just completely forgot that those things existed. I mean, it really does kind of, it sounds like a cow. Not a cow. It sounds like a calf.
This dude needs his bean juice.
Well, get your bean juice. Bean juice. Okay. Oh, he is keeping the armchair. I really like this couch. It could be reupholstered, but like the bear carved into it, that's freaking amazing. What are they doing to it? Oh, they're trashing it. I kinda sad about that.
I'm breaking. This dude needs his bean juice.
That's a nice face.
I wonder if my horse figurine is still in there.
Is it? Or what now? Wait,
You're what now?
You know, my blue toy horse. With the kind of melted face. The one you stole from me.
What? That never happened.
Yeah, it did. I won it at that little Halloween carnival they had at the school every year. You grabbed it and hid it in the pot. Then when I tried to get it back, you said there was a snake inside too.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever you say, Horseface.
We have the same face. I'm breaking. This dude needs his bean juice.
He really needs his bean juice.
Starting the fire again?
Yeah, I'm gonna boil some water. You want something to drink?
I mean, yeah. Oh, do I get to pick tea or coffee? Well, he needs his bean juice, so we're gonna do coffee.
Would you rather have instant coffee or instant coffee?
Nah, sorry. I'm more of a tea person. Get it? Tea.
Oh.
As in...
I get it.
How long have you been waiting to make that joke?
Longer than I'm willing to admit.
I am so glad Eddie came through on the caffeine.
Shh, did you hear that?
The Ice King is sending us a warning.
Wait, what? Where is this happening at?
For your punishment, said the Ice King, you shall be banished from the forest. And if you dare come back before the new moon, you shall feel my anger in your gut. Hear it in the wind. Whoosh!
Do you think the Ice King would really react that way? He may be intimidating, but he's always fair and never mean.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe he tells the goblins to help the people they hurt instead?
Great idea, sweetie. Why don't we think about it at dinner? I'll put everything away for safekeeping while you go wash your hands.
Can you put them in the binder so they don't get stained?
Of course, love.
I still think my dark and twisty version was better.
We put so many hours into that book.
Yeah. Our binder was full of extra drawings and incomplete stories. I think they're all still in the kitchen drawer.
We should go take a look.
Well, that's why I'm over here. Here? Or no? Oh, okay, Tyler's doing it. Okay, alright.
Come check this out. Allison's first drafts. Right. Because I didn't contribute at all.
I know you did. I can't believe she kept all these.
You'd think putting them on the fridge for a couple of weeks would have been enough.
You know how we thought of ourselves as the goblins? Did you ever get the sense that maybe Marianne was the princess in the stories?
Yeah. She called her bedroom the princess's sanctum, and she was all alone in the woods, in this house, until we showed up.
She was. Alone, but with a few friends who helped her along the way.
What are you doing?
Research. So, if Marianne was the princess, then who were all the rest?
And here we go.
Oh, come on. Humor me.
Oh, I've already figured this out. Oh my god. The moose is Eddie. He's fishing, of course. We already know the pelican is Tessa. I think the bear is Sam. That's what I gathered. But let's go ahead. Let's do a little reading here. Okay, so we did... Wait, ooh. Okay, we did that one. Okay, next up is the goblins and the ice cave. Alright, once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, the crafty goblins were playing near the glacier when they discovered a hole in the ice. They crept through a gradually widening passage and found themselves inside a spacious ice cave. Light spilled down the undulating blue-white walls in a way that made them look like electric waterfalls, and a column made of hundreds of icicles stood in the center. This was a time before the goblins had settled beneath the old wooden house, and they had nowhere to live. "Perhaps we could live here," they said excitedly. Moments later, the sound of stomping feet interrupted their play, and they realized that perhaps someone already lived there. They hid behind a boulder to wait and see who was coming. The old bear sauntered into the cave, shaking powdery snow from his coat. He let out a giant yawn and lay down in the corner of a pile of tree boughs, snoring within seconds. When they were sure he was deep asleep, the goblins conspired to claim the cave for themselves. They chipped away at the glacier until they had filled a basket full of ice, then hid one more behind their boulder and started tossing chunks of it on the sleeping bear. Now, Old Bear was not the smartest creature in the forest, so when he woke up covered in ice, he roared, "My cave is collapsing!" Then he lumbered to his feet and ran outside before the whole thing could come down on top of him. The goblins crept out after him and did a loop before coming back to find him sitting outside. "What happened?" they asked. "My cave, it's collapsing." I can't. Bemoaned the old bear, "and it's time for me to hibernate. Where will I stay for the winter?" It had not occurred to the goblins that the old bear had settled in for the winter, and they felt a little bad. But they did not want the old bear to know what they had done, so instead they offered to help him find a new den. Together they searched. They inspected cavernous stone and hollow trees and deeply pocketed knolls. Nothing they found was as beautiful as the ice cave, but the old bear settled on a packed... what does that say? I think it's supposed to say earthen hollow. That would keep him warm and dry for his long sleep. "Good night," he yawned, and the goblins gleefully returned to their new home. In the spring, the old bear woke and went for a nice long walk to stretch his legs. His path took him right up to his old cave, where he heard the curious sound of laughter. Making his way inside, he was surprised to find that his cave was intact, and the goblins were inside playing a game. "What is this?" he growled the old bear. The goblins stopped playing and looked ashamed. "We're sorry, old bear," said the goblins, "but we had nowhere to live, and it's just so beautiful. We didn't realize you were about to hibernate, and then we couldn't bear to tell you what we'd done." The old bear was angry at the trick, but then the young goblins looked appropriately ashamed, and so he said, "Come with me." He led the crafty goblins to the hollow in which he had hibernated for the winter. "You two can have this spot," he said, "and look, someone has built a big wooden house right over top it." "No one lives there now," said Old Bear, "but one day maybe someone will." The earthen hollow was not as beautiful as the ice cave, but it kept the goblins warm and dry, and they were excited that someday they might have someone living overhead, someone who baked cakes and tolerated their mischief. And that is the story of how the crafty goblins tried to steal the cave of the old bear and how they got their own instead. All right. Let's see what we got. We got two more about the goblins. Let's read a little bit more about like the bear. So we need the bear, the pelican, and the moose, right? So let's try a little, read a little bit more about them. Okay. Once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, the old bear was out looking for a snack when he spied a bee's nest in a hole high up a tree. The tree was dry and brittle, but the old bear was hungry, and so he made his way to the nest. But when he got there, he found his giant paw couldn't fit into the hole. Determined, he tried to force it inside, but the effort caused the branch below him to snap. The old bear tumbled to the ground and landed with a painful oomph. He lay there, stunned from the fall, and when all of a sudden, something bit him. The bite was followed by another, and another, and another. Carpenter ants were swarming up his legs. You see, they had been nesting in the branch, and they did not appreciate being forced from their home. The old bear howled and jumped to his feet to dance around as he swatted and snapped, but his big paws couldn't do much about the tiny ants. When he had finally managed to squish or scare them all off, the old bear heard someone laughing. The crafty goblins had seen the whole thing. "Clumsy old bear," they teased. "Those big old paws aren't good at anything, are they?" They then sped off, leaving Old Bear's pride hurting just as bad as his body. He lumpered. What word is that? Lumpered. He lumbered through the forest, hungry and sad. Maybe I am just a clumsy old bear, he moaned, and my big old paws aren't good at anything. At that moment, the old bear heard a sad, sad noise. What's that? He wondered, and he followed the sound to where a mountain goat stood atop a boulder high up on a hillside. "Old bear!" she cried. "Old bear, please help, my kid is stuck." Sure enough, a tiny mountain goat was trapped inside the stones, bleeding sadly. The old bear began to walk towards them and then stopped. I'm probably just going to make it worse, he thought. But then the goat kid started to bleat even louder, and the old bear put away his fear. He climbed up to where the goat was trapped, careful of where he stepped and trying not to think of how he had only just fallen out of a tree. Every now and then the ground would slide away from under his feet, but he kept going. When he reached the goat kid, he put his mighty paws against one of the boulders and began to push. At first it didn't budge, but he dug in and pushed even harder. Finally, the boulders parted just wide enough to let the kid scramble to safety. The old bear released the boulder and let out a roar of triumph. Roar! "Thank you," gushed the mama goat, as she and her kid bounced off up the mountain. The old bear watched them go with a smile and then made his way back down the hillside, wiggling his rump in triumph as he went. To his surprise, the crafty goblins waited at the bottom of the hill. "We saw the whole thing," they said. "We were wrong. You aren't just a clumsy old bear, and your paws are good for helping others." The old bear forgave the goblins for doubting him because he had doubted himself just as much. He never again thought his paws weren't good at anything, even though sometimes they weren't always great at everything. And that is how the old bear proved that his heart was bigger than his paws. Yeah, I feel like definitely the bear is Sam. I mean, we even seen the memory of Tyler and Alyson like teasing him, you know what I mean? So I feel like with these stories we're definitely getting kind of the same thing. Like, you know, the goblins were always teasing the bear. So alright, let's see what else we got. Ooh, story about the Mad Hunter. Okay, here's a pelican one. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, an early winter storm blanketed everything in snow. It was so early in the year that the creatures of the forest were not yet ready for an ordinary winter, much less a bad one, and everyone agreed the storm was a sign the Ice King had plans for a long, cold winter. The princess had grown up in a kingdom where it was sunny all year long, and the goblins were very young, so no one in the big wooden house knew how to prepare for such a winter. The house was not well insulated, and they did not have enough fuel or food. Only the pious pelican noticed their plight, and when it came time to fly south with the other birds, her heart was heavy with sadness. "What can I do?" she thought. "I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" The time came to go, and the pelican struggled to take flight. It felt as though a leaded weight were stuck right in the center of her chest. "What can I do?" she thought. "I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" She managed to take off, but only just barely, flapping fiercely to catch up with the other birds. As the pious pelican began her journey, the storm picked up. Battering her to and fro, she had fallen well behind the flock, and she was already growing tired. But for all her challenges in the air, she could tell things were much worse on the ground. A deep freeze had settled over the forest. The leaden weight in her chest grew heavier as she thought of the princess and the goblins. "What can I do?" she thought. "I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" The storm intensified, and the pelican was in a total whiteout. She knew she should have despaired, but all she could feel was the weight, which had grown and grown until she thought she might drop out of the sky. She had felt called to help the princess and the goblins, but she had ignored it. "I should have stayed," she thought. "It was the right thing to do, and now I'm lost, with no way to make it right." Suddenly, she was plucked from the sky and deposited in the hall of the Ice King. "Pelican," he said, "you were flying in circles around my mountain." "I was lost," she said, weighted down by the weight of guilt in my heart. The Ice King stared at her sagely. "Is it guilt, or is it something else? Open your beak." He reached down inside of her, pulling out a glowing stone. The pious pelican was surprised at how it filled her with warmth, chasing away cold and her doubt. "You know what you must do," said the Ice King. The pious pelican flew straight to the big wooden house. Snow had already blown in through its many cracks, and ice crept across the floorboards. She found the princess and the goblins huddled in front of the quiet hearth, nearly frozen solid. "No!" she cried, and then she placed the stone in the princess's lap. The warmth of it spread through the whole of the house, melting all that had frozen. The princess threw her arms around the pelican's chest, and the goblins clung to her legs. "Thank you," they cried. "You're welcome," said the pelican, smiling in deep satisfaction. "What is that?" asked the princess, staring at the wonderful stone. "At first," said the pelican, "I thought it was my guilt, but when the Ice King pulled it out of me, I realized it was something much more powerful." Just then the storm broke and the skies cleared. The pelican filled the big wooden house's larder with food from her beak, and then she took to the skies, lightened by the knowledge that through her charity, everyone in the big wooden house would be warm and fed until spring. And that is how the story of the pious pelican saved the wise princess and the crafty goblins from a long winter. Yeah, I definitely believe that one is Tessa. For sure. This one's interesting. I do want to read this one. I'm going to come back to this, though, because they did mention how, like, the frog got punished by the Ice King. So I'm interested to read that one. Let's see. Okay, we have the pelican forgives the goblins. What did you do? Alright, once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins in a cave below a big wooden house. They lived with a wise princess who shared as much food with them as she was able, but it was never quite enough. This left the goblins hungry, very hungry, always hungry. One day, as they were out foraging for food, the pious pelican landed on a rock and dumped a smorgasbord from her beak, which the goblins knew was magic and never emptied. There were king crabs in red, blue, gold, and scarlet, veiny blue shrimp, pink-shelled scallops, oblong brown clams, purple shiny urchins, and even one prickly red sea cucumber. The food just kept coming. They watched as the pelican ate one clam and then took a nap. "Do you think she would mind if we just took a little?" asked one goblin to the other. "Her beak never empties. She won't possibly miss a couple crabs," said the second, licking her lips. They were agreed, and so they crept over, flinched. Is it filched? Filched some crabs? Okay, and ran. The goblins scarfed the crabs, but when they finished, they found that they were still hungry. "She won't miss a handful of shrimp," said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the shrimp, but when they finished, they found that they were still hungry. "Maybe also a few scallops," said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the scallops, but when they were finished, they found that they were still hungry. So they went back for clams, and then urchins, and finally even the sea cucumber. Finally, they were not hungry, but there was also nothing left. Just then the pelican woke up. "What happened to my food?" she asked, unable to lie about it. The goblins confessed their crime. The pelican was dismayed, but she was a charitable-hearted bird, and she could tell the crafty goblins were growing little creatures. "Goblins," said the pious pelican, "I will share my food with you, but you must, in return, follow my example and be as generous with others as I am with you. Take that to heart, and I will have considered your debt paid." "But we have nothing to give," said the goblins. "You have your nimble hands, and your crafty brains, and your loving hearts," said the pelican. The crafty goblins realized how much they had to give, and for the rest of the day they looked for ways to help the other creatures of the forest. They found the stalwart moose struggling with an itchy, hard-to-reach spot on his back, so they climbed up and gave it a good scratching. Next, they helped the old bear who could not get the honey out of the narrow beehive. They climbed up on top of the tree with the hive and then dropped it, cracking it open. Finally, they found the princess crying over a loss she would not speak about. So they wrapped their tiny arms around her in a great big hug and stayed until she felt better. When they were done, they returned to the pious pelican. "Did it feel good, being as generous as I am?" asked the pelican. "It did," said the goblins. "I'm glad," said the pelican. "We all have problems that we can't solve on our own, but if everyone goes about with generosity in their hearts, and then there is always someone on hand to help. But we all must commit to do so, or there will be no one there to help when you need it." This made sense to the goblins, and they thanked the pious pelican for her food and the lesson. Of course, by this time they were hungry again, and that remained an ongoing problem until the day the stalwart moose taught them to fish. But that is another story, and that is how the pious pelican forgave the crafty goblins and how she taught them charity. What good stories! I loved them. Ooh, there's a troll? Okay. What's this one? A muskrat, okay. Alright, this one is about the moose. Okay. Once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, the crafty goblins were hungry. This wasn't unusual. The goblins were always hungry, but today they were particularly hungry. They opened the wise princess's cupboards to look for a snack, but all she had was a small pile of nuts and berries and just one strip of dried fish. The goblins grabbed it all and gobbled it up, but they were still hungry. They went out into the woods to look for more to eat. First, they dropped by the small pond. The big frog was asleep, and beside the pond was a pile of insects she had caught for eating after she woke up. The goblins crept up to the pile, careful not to wake the big frog. As they got close, they ribbited loudly, and they froze. But the big frog kept sleeping. So they grabbed up the pile of insects and gobbled it up, but they were still hungry. As they crept back into the woods, they found the stalwart moose watching them. Did you just steal the big frog's food? The goblins tried not to look guilty, but failed. She said we could have them, they cried. Oh, really? Asked the moose. Let's ask her. So the moose woke up the big frog and asked, Did you say the goblins could have your food? The big frog looked at the goblins, who she knew were always hungry, and nodded. Yes, I did. Really? Asked the moose, surprised. Frog nodded, and the moose sighed. All right then, he said, and he had to let the goblins go. Their next stop was the river. They watched an old bear swiped at a leaping salmon, catching it deftly in his large paws. He lay it upon a rock and let it to dry, lumbering into the woods to seek out some berries. The crafty goblins crept up to the rock carefully in case old bear returned. They reached the rocks, grabbed the salmon, and gobbled it up. But they were still hungry. As they crept back into the woods, the stalwart moose was once again waiting for them. Are you going to tell me old bear said you could have that? Yes, replied the goblins. Or I guess it's more of a yes. Old bear ambled up at that moment, and Moose asked him, Did you leave that fish for the goblins? Old bear looked at the goblins, who he knew were always hungry, and nodded. I did. He said, Really? Asked the moose. Really, said the old bear. After Moose left, the old bear said to the goblins, Be sure to tell the princess I was kind to you, and don't steal my fish again. The goblins, still hungry, went out looking for one more meal. They crept up to the mangy muskrat's lodge and began to climb inside when they were dragged right back out. The stalwart moose dangled them by the seats of their pants and said, Now I know Mangy Muskrat didn't tell you that you could eat his food because he blames you for his coat being ruined. Besides, he barely has enough for himself and doesn't share with anyone. The goblins began to protest, but he shook his head. He set the goblins down and said, Come with me. Goblins followed the stalwart moose to a part of the river where it ran slow enough for them to walk into it safely. He gave them each a fishing line and said, I am going to teach you to fish, so that when you are hungry, you do not need to steal from the animals of the forest. It will be hard work, but it will be honest. Crafty goblins were not against working hard, they were just hungry, and so they listened to the moose and soon pulled wiggling fish out of the river. They ate them up, and finally, they were no longer hungry. And that is how the moose came to teach the crafty goblins to fish. Yay! What lovely stories. Alright, I kind of want to read these two, and then we'll call it good for now. We'll try and read the next several here in a little while. But this one I think is about when the princess meets the two goblins. I'm thinking anyways, so yeah, let's go ahead and read those. Once upon a time in an ancient and deep forest there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. The house was built from the strong wood of the forest and it kept the princess warm and safe. The princess was not a native of the forest, but she never spoke about where she had come from, for it made her cry. She did not have many friends, but that was how she liked it. The forest was big and deep, and many paths led to her house, but not many visitors passed by. The princess was happy to be left alone in the big house in the deep forest. She knew that the forest would provide for her, but that its generosity had to be respected, so she only took what she needed. For a long time, life was just fine for the princess in the big wooden house. One winter day, when snow blanketed the earth and the ice bent the trees low, the wise princess realized that food was disappearing from her house. It was not much at first, only a few fruits and nuts and eggs vanishing during the night. "Maybe it's the birds," she said, "or the mice." And for a time, the princess was okay with losing some food, for the winter was long and little creatures needed to eat too. But then small items started to disappear as well. Spoons and plates, forks and knives, and blankets. It was as if every time she was in one part of the house, something disappeared in another room. "That can't be birds or mice," said the princess. "I think I have a thief." So she went outside to look for traces in the snow and noises in the wind, but there was nothing to be found or to be heard. "That's strange," said the princess. "Maybe the thief is hiding inside my house." For many days she hunted, looking behind the curtains and under the bed, in the attic and the chimney, behind the poles and under the carpets, but she found nothing. And as she searched, food kept on disappearing night after night. "I will make a cake," frowned the princess. "A big cake with every egg and fruit and nut I still have, so that I only have one thing to keep my eye on." She spent the whole day making the cake and using everything she had. The cake she made was so big she could hardly carry it. "If I manage to protect the cake, I'll be able to survive the long winter," she said. So she added a lock to the oven, and she kept the big cake safe inside. But the next morning the lock had been opened, and the cake had disappeared. At first the princess cried because the cake was the last of her food until the snow melted. But then she noticed 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour, and she followed the tracks to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. This is how the princess realized that 2 tiny thieves were living under the wooden house right below her feet. Okay. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had been living alone just fine for a very long time, until the day she noticed food and small items were disappearing from her house. The thefts were went on and on until the day her last cake, which had been made with the last of her eggs, the last of her fruit, the last of her nuts, and the last of her flour, well, that last cake was stolen too. And all she found at the scene of the crime were 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour leading to the hidden hatch in the floorboards. The princess did not try to open the hatch, nor did she try to break it. She was too tired and too hungry. All she could do was cry in silence, alone in the big wooden house hidden in the ancient and deep forest. She cried for a long time until evening arrived, and then she cried some more. Suddenly a tiny voice came from under the house. "What is that noise you make?" it asked. "We do not like it, not one bit." "I'm crying because you 2 are mean to me, whoever you are. You stole all my food I had, and I will starve before the end of this long and cold winter." The hatch opened just a peep, revealing 2 frowning faces peering out from the darkness of their hideout. "But we're hungry too," said the second creature. "We have been hiding in this cave for a long time, and now the winter is upon us, and we need food." The princess dried her eyes and smiled at the 2 goblins. "If we are friends, we could share the cake you stole from me." The 2 thieves spat and smirked. "A friend? What is that?" The princess frowned, for she realized that the 2 tiny thieves were as lonely as she was. "A friend is someone you love and care for, someone you would never hurt." "We never hurt each other, and we care for each other," said the goblins at the same time. "Does that mean we are friends?" "Yes, that's exactly it. And if we were friends, we would not hurt us? Or you would not hurt us?" "Of course not. Friends trust each other." The goblins shook their little heads. "We trust no one, for no one trusts us." Her words made the princess cry again, for now she understood that the 2 creatures were not only as lonely as she was here in the big wooden house, but they had been lonely since they were born. "You are making that noise again," frowned the goblins. "Please stop that, for it makes us feel unhappy." "Are you a witch? Is this some sort of magic?" "It makes you unhappy because we are friends," said the princess. "But we don't know you, and you're not like us. Sometimes friendship comes right away, even between people who are very different." Does it mean that we can't steal from you anymore? Yes. But that's what we do. We are the crafty goblins who live under your house. Well, then maybe we could arrange something. Is that what friends do? Yes, I believe they do. And this is how the princess met the crafty goblins and how they became friends. Alright, let's leave it at that for now. I feel like we've read quite a bit. I can feel my voice is starting to hurt. Oh, I see. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I get it.
Pelican.
She was the most generous one.
Yeah, but there was always a catch.
Yeah. So, do we swap?
You go here.
Oh, no. Swap.
This one.
Okay. Now, that would be Eddie, and then that would be Sam. So these two would need to switch, but let's look at this one first.
The bear was the most helpful one. He was always around.
Stalking her?
What? No.
I mean, he was kinda always there. Lurking.
Well, he was, but I think he was in love with her.
Poor Moose. Really didn't do him justice.
Justice? Kind of ironic, huh?
Considering he was the lawful good one.
Too bad the law isn't really just. You done?
Yes, I'm doing. We're gonna swap these two. Is that good? Oh yeah, show to Tyler, right? I hope that this is what it's wanting me to do.
Alright, I think I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
How do you like them apples?
You know, I think you might be onto something. What about these guys? I don't see them being real-life people. Or this one.
Which one? These? Over here?
Yep, totally Marianne.
Why a princess, though? Why not a queen?
She hated authority.
Yeah, she'd have been a terrible ruler.
Or maybe she came from, like, sort of royalty, as in, like, thinking about parents. So she would, like, be the princess. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just creepy.
The specific human attributes you have assigned to these forest animals are truly thought-provoking.
Indubitably.
Dude, that's adorable. Is it wanting me to look at something?
You better hurry, or the Mad Hunter will catch us! We need to hide. This way! What's going on? I don't know. Is he here? Is he really here? I don't know. I'm scared. Go away! Yeah! Go back to the forest!
I forgot about that. We'd been pretending he was there.
And then, suddenly he was.
That was the only time that happened, right? Alyson? Wait. It felt way too real. It was...
Us. Pushing our imagination way too far.
Great. Sam Kansky, Grandmaster of Bad Timing. We're not done with this conversation.
Morning, Sam.
Ahoy, goblins! I ran into Chief Brown, who said you were starting the cleanup on the house this morning, so, I kind of figured you might need some supplies.
Thank you. That was very thoughtful.
So listen, I wanted to apologize for scaring you yesterday.
You didn't. Your shotgun did.
Yeah, well, anyway, I also came by to say I fired up the Google and I did some reading. I didn't know the difference between all those words. I mean, never been much of a reader. Huh? But I think I get why what I said was wrong, and I'm real sorry. Oh,
He's
and before I
trying.
forget,
At
the
least
lady
he's making an effort.
It was your mom's favorite recipe. Still make it darn near every week. Think of her every time.
Thanks. But we don't have a stove. Still no electricity.
Oh, yeah. That fuse box is busted. Just another thing I've been meaning to put back together around here.
Where is it? I can take care of it.
Oh, I don't doubt you can. But, I've been kicking this thing back to life for the last 20-some years. I'll give you a hand.
All right.
Box is in the barn. Follow me.
We'll be right behind you.
I know Tyler does not much care for Sam, but I'm gonna be nice to him. I feel kind of bad for Sam.
That apology was something.
Come on.
He's
We
trying.
need lights. So be nice to the helpful man.
Yes. Give it a break, Tyler. Also, is there like other things that I can look at? Like, can I go exploring? Bird feeder. Yes.
Hey, the birds ate all the seed already.
Nothing? Not gonna say nothing? Okay. Alright.
So, how's school?
I graduated already. Outdoor studies.
Oh, outdoor studies, huh? Well, it's a good thing I came along when I did. You know, I built this here barn for your mama.
You really helped her out, huh?
Now, you know, just a few chores here and there. I was glad to help. Your mother, she... No. I could never bring myself to leave her high and dry. Anyways, let me find that darn key.
Wait, Sam. You have more of our keys?
Yeah. The one for the barn's called a railroad key. See, it's got this special tip that you can...
Fascinating. I'll take that off your hands now.
Well, I, figured I might still need to do some maintenance, so,
Nope. We're good. Thank you.
fair warning. Door's a bit temperamental.
Haven't you been taking care of this place? You didn't oil the doors?
What? You think I just hang out here all day or something? Here, son, give me a try.
Good.
Okay, when you twist it as far as you can to the left, give it a nice little jerk.
Damn it.
No shit.
I'm gonna say right now, ain't no
At
way.
least the door's open now.
No. These doors
Yeah,
would be so freaking heavy. You need supporting
easy to
cables
fix.
running
Now,
diagonally
that fuse box.
to hold that thing up. This
Oh,
would
no,
weigh
no,
down
no.
on the
You
hinges so
and
fast.
you are going to clean up your mess. I'll take care of the fuse box.
But I didn't do it.
I'm not asking. Go on.
Okay, well apparently I'm cleaning up the fuse box. Alright. Look around in here. There's a photo.
All right. Fuses go into plugs. Should be easy enough.
What am I doing here? Main, range. We need the range. Okay. Water heater, kitchen. So 2 outlets and lights would be 3 and 4. Generator, heater, garage. Alright. Okay, it says, Marianne, I wrapped up your electrical board. I gotta run, but in case you want to check it out, careful Not to overload the circuits, you'll have to use 50 amp fuses for the garage. Amps total up to 120 for the whole house. Pretty proud of myself for once. I've inspected the right color coding. Each fuse should have the right color cable. Okay. So the garage has to be the 15, which that one's already in there though. I actually don't think this is as hard as what I was thinking that it would be. I think the cables literally just match up to what they are. So, remove this one, replace it with a 20. And then this one would also be 20. I think that that's it.
Seems good.
Yeah, that was really easy. A lot easier than I figured.
You damn fool.
Everything okay?
You two look like you got this all in hand, so,
I'm gonna call it right now. He probably gave her that gun for, like, safety or something, and so now he blames himself for doing so.
What was that about?
I'm gonna call it right now. That's probably what happened. Alright, so can we look around here? Let's see it. Jams!
Marianne's stash.
Ooh, strawberry jam. That looks good. It looks like it has the seeds in there.
Blueberry, salmonberry. Huh. Birch and fireweed?
Bet it tastes like restricted freedom and 9 p.m. lights out.
I did not think that said salmonberry. What's salmonberry? That's something new. I thought that said strawberry.
Those have definitely gone bad.
As far as I'm concerned, they always were.
Does canned food really expire? I
Yes.
mean, it's airtight, right?
No.
Not gonna be the one to test that out.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Hey there, little buddy.
Who are you talking to? Ugh.
Are you cooing at a spider? It had better be a tiny one.
Don't listen to the mean lady. You're an 8-legged beauty.
No. I can't even freaking see this spider, and it's making me get chills. Ugh.
What are we gonna do with this wreck?
Take it apart and sell the scrap.
Be my guest. It sure looks like a pile of junk to me.
Where you see junk, I see dollars. Oh man, I'm gonna put together the sweetest toolbox ever.
Okay.
Huh, look at this. I think this is where she made all her toys. Toilet paper tubes, rope, cardboard.
I wonder what she planned to make there.
She was so crafty.
And she could draw and write and take pictures.
She could have been an artist instead of just locking herself up out here.
I don't think she had a choice.
I wonder why Sam got so upset.
Oh, he probably forgot he was all out of bourbon.
Well, something about it really got to him.
I don't think any of us are exactly happy to see that gun rack. Remind me to take it down later. Alyson, do you know who this is?
Oh, the picture? I tried looking at that earlier.
What did you find?
Do you know who that is?
Yeah. That's Carol, Eddie's mom. I've seen other pictures of her, but never this one.
Man, look at Brown. And Marianne. She looks really happy.
Can I?
Careful, the glass is broken.
Are you okay? It stings. Let's go see Mom.
But she'll get mad. We weren't even supposed to be here.
Just give me 1 second. No,
I feel
no!
something strong. It's making my teeth tingle.
I'm never finished exploring, and then they just cut me off.
Over here.
Where? Oh.
Come on, it's gonna get infected. I don't want to. She said not to disturb her and Eddie. Where are you going?
Things were different when she was around. We were family, Eddie. How could you do this to me?
Shh.
Look, I had to make that call.
What were they talking about? I can't figure out what's going on.
I don't know, but I remember that whatever Eddie had to do, whatever that call was about, it was tearing him up.
Tearing him up? He was being a total cop, and Marianne got pissed and threw him out. Here, I'm gonna show you what I remember. Over here, Alyson.
I had to make that call. I was just following the law.
Oh, yeah? And this little visit right here? What would the law say about this, huh?
Look, I didn't have to come out here, but I did.
You're a goddamn hypocrite. Get out of here!
Marianne.
I said get out! Out!
What? She didn't throw the picture at him.
You sure about that? He was being a complete dick.
How can you be sure? We were eavesdropping. We could barely see a thing.
What do you think happened then?
Oh, are you gonna make me have to choose again? I don't know. I feel like the truth is somewhere in between. Like, I think partially y'all are both right.
Look, I had to make that call. I was following procedure, what I'm legally required to do.
Then why are you here? Pretty sure this isn't procedure.
I wanted you to hear it from me.
Please leave.
Marianne, I'm sorry.
Please just go.
How do we keep remembering the same things so differently?
It was a long time ago, and, well, memory's a tricky thing.
Wait, when did that happen?
I'm not sure. I think it was the exact same day she attacked you.
That's what I thought.
But Uncle Eddie said he hadn't seen Marianne for weeks.
Yeah, that was bullshit. And what was all that about following the law? What was he doing here exactly?
He must have had his reasons for not telling us.
Look, I know he took care of you, but that doesn't make him incapable of lying.
I can't see him being that cold with Marianne, even if he was being a cop.
I mean, I can, but who knows? I guess memory's a tricky thing, huh?
Oh, whoa. Oh.
You're a goddamn...
I don't know what to do here. The last time I did this, it like affected our relationship. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like Tyler's is accurate though. I feel like but maybe it is. Maybe his is more accurate, because if that was the day that she kind of lost control, she might have been like really in a mental breakdown point. So she could have gotten angrier during the day. I don't want to make the choice where we're affecting their relationship more than what it already is. So I feel like if I go for Tyler's, I feel like that would kind of strengthen.
Get out of here. Get out.
So she was sad, she was angry. I feel like we should go for the angry.
Goddamn hypocrite.
It would make sense with
Get out of here.
what follows.
Goddamn hypocrite. Get out of here. Get off my property right now.
We agree. Brown came out here and bullied Marianne the same day she attacked us. And then lied about it. Now what?
We go and get a straight answer from him.
Right now?
Yes. I'll go get my car keys.
But what will these mountains of trash do without us?
Fuck the trash.
Man, I can't believe Brown lied. I mean, I may not be the guy's biggest fan, but he's always talking about the truth and the law and shit.
Do you have to be so happy about it?
What?
I know you've been waiting for something like this. Something that proves Eddie's an asshole. But gloating about it is really not cool. It's Tina. I gotta take this. Yeah, just a sec. I'm parking the car.
Guess I'll just go stretch my legs then.
No, just give me a sec. Okay, Tina, what's going on?
Hi, hon. I've got someone who is super interested in seeing the house.
Oh, that's amazing. When?
They're just in the area for a couple of days, so they'd like to come by day after tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not sure it'll be ready.
Hon, this guy is very motivated, but I know he's looking at other properties. It's not like you've had people breaking down the door.
I appreciate that, but we've kind of got a lot going on over here.
Did I mention it would be an all-cash offer?
It's not the right time.
A cash offer, Alyson.
I'm sorry, but it'll be a total mess. I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Okay, well, you tell me when you're ready.
Huh. Well, I think I just made Tina's shit list.
Well, Tina can keep me on her shit list. That was the right call.
Marianne was anxious about rocks falling on the road. She always assumed the worst would happen.
Hmm.
In a few weeks, you'll be able to climb to the top of that waterfall. With an ice pick. God, I'd love to be able to make something like this.
It's so cute. It's made out of wood. Talent. I don't know what that says, but nice. See, a lot of the trees are marked. I don't know if they're gonna be cutting those down or what.